it's time for Night of Champions as WWE crowns this year's King and Queen of the Ring. We also had a huge debut on the main roster, Bloodline 3.0 is here, a major botch to a finish, 3MB reunite, and a WWE fan arrested. Join us now as we recap WWE Night of Champions as well as look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Now, as always with these premium live events, we start off with the recap as the first match of the night is the King of the Ring finals match as it's Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Now, this match is no longer a case of a student versus the teacher as Cody Rhodes has come too far to be anything but an equal to his former mentor Randy Orton. Both superstars pull out all the stops for this match, with Cody and Randy showing heel tendencies, whether it was Cody attacking Orton's well-known vulnerable back or Orton going for the punt kick on the American Nightmare. Randy takes off one of the ring pads looking for the edge to get the win, but unfortunately Cody flings Orton into the corner, injuring Randy's already softened up back, and Cody hits Crossroads for the win as he becomes the 2025 King of the Ring. Raw and SmackDown general managers Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis congratulate Cody, giving him the crown. Byron Saxton interviews Cody with Rhodes putting over Randy and Jey Uso. Cody says he's had a tough battle ahead regardless of whether he faces John Cena or CM Punk at SummerSlam, but Randy Orton definitely looked angry after the match and Cody giving his promo in the ring. That Orton heel turn is definitely coming soon. Next up, Raquel Rodriguez versus Rhea Ripley in a street fight. The animosity between these two goes far back, and fans know Rodriguez is still looking for revenge on Ripley after the Eradicator sidelined Raquel with an injury during Rhea's run as a heel. The street fight is a mixed bag for Ripley as it allows her to rely on brawling and power moves, but it also does the same for Raquel, whose size and power rivals Ripley. Things were chaotic enough until would-be Judgment Day member Roxanne Perez showed up late in the match, giving Raquel time to recover. However, Rhea catches Raquel off the top of the table, hitting an avalanche riptide to end the match as Rhea Ripley defeats Raquel Rodriguez. Next up is Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett. This is a match Karrion Kross goaded Sami Zayn into getting, and it's actually his first PLE match since Crown Jewel 2022. Kross dominates, putting Sami into jeopardy several times, including locking him into his finisher, the Kross Jacket, but Sami makes it to the ropes only to endure more punishment from Kross. However, a Helluva Kick out of nowhere destroys Karrion Kross, allowing Sami to cover him for the win as Sami Zayn defeats Karrion Kross. Next up is champion Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa for the US Championship. Jacob Fatu is looking to remind Solo he's all gas and no brakes, while Solo is determined to show he's no choke artist as he makes his latest bid for his first title on the main roster. But unfortunately for Solo, he's no match for Jacob's Fury, and the Samoan Werewolf all but toys with him, but that is until Solo calls upon every member of his faction, including JC Mateo and a returning Tongaloa to lend an assist. Yeah, the GOAT is actually finally back. But even these two aren't enough, but that is until new Bloodline member Hikuleo shows up and he debuts chokeslamming Fatu into a table and making him easy prey for the Samoan Spike, as Solo Sikoa is the new United States Champion. Next up is the Queen of the Ring finals as Asuka takes on Jade Cargill. Now this is a battle between a superstar who's done it all and one who wants to do it all, with both determined to get their shot at the women's title at SummerSlam. Jade uses her raw power to stay in the match, while the Empress of Tomorrow relies on strikes and submission holds to wear down her opponent. Asuka looks to end the match with the Empress Impact, only for Cargill to stop her and hit Jade for the 1-2-3, as Jade Cargill is a 2025 Queen of the Ring. But now it's time for the main event as undisputed WWE Champion John Cena takes on CM Punk. Now it's 2011 all over again as John Cena and CM Punk throw down for the WWE Championship, and while it's 14 years later, it still shows that nothing has changed other than John Cena being a heel. In fact, even CM Punk is wearing a similar attire as well as sitting in the ring whilst waiting for Cena to make his entrance, just like he did at Money in the Bank. But the match is moving at a breakneck pace until the referee is inadvertently taken out, preventing Punk, who had just hit a GTS, from covering Cena. But then Mr. Money in the Bank Seth Rollins shows up with his briefcase and his henchmen Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed as well as Paul Heyman, taking Punk out. But then Charles Robinson runs in and he does that furious 100-meter sprint like he did back at WrestleMania, but Cena takes him out of nowhere, leading to a confrontation between Cena and Rollins. Rollins and his crew are taken out by Punk and Cena, who continue their match while they wait for a new referee. Punk extends his hand and Cena shakes it, only to go for a low blow. Yep, Cena done got us again. However, Punk blocks it only to get clobbered by Rollins, who bonks him in the head with a briefcase and follows up with a curb stomp. However, Cena dispatches Rollins, covering Punk as the referee conveniently recovers to make the 3 count as John Cena closes out, retaining the WWE Championship at Night of Champions. But that was a quick recap of what about the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, predictable but powerful. A Cody Rhodes King of the Ring win over Randy Orton wasn't exactly a big shocker. Nevertheless, the match delivered, with Rhodes and Orton wrestling like this was a retirement match. No mercy was shown, and fans are already speculating whether Cody and or Randy are beginning the road to playing heels. In fact, Cody was definitely a little bit heelish in that match, right? I mean, he was targeting Randy Orton's back like it was nothing. The announcers enhanced this match by playing up Cody and Randy's history, along with Orton's goal of winning his 15th World Championship. Cody's win will also get him a rematch for the world title, but savvy fans already know Cody is headed for a collision with Randy Orton soon enough, but just when remains to be seen. Oh yeah, bonus points for WWE bringing back Randy Orton's original pyro, the Golden Shower. Yeah, I did call it that. Number 2, Raquel's redemption. Now, fans never know what match is going to surprise them, and tonight, Raquel Rodriguez vs Rhea Ripley street fight was a very pleasant surprise, with this feud showing the most life we've ever seen out of Raquel since her return at Bad Blood and Join the Judgment Day, attacking Ripley as payback for kayfabe putting her tag team partner Liv Morgan out of action. Now, unfortunately, Raquel's feud with Rhea has been a dud until recently, which sadly is just one example of how uninspiring Raquel's main roster career has been. Now, to be fair to Raquel, she's had some bad luck with health issues and equally bad booking. But nonetheless, there comes a time when a superstar has to rise to the occasion or start avoiding their phone on Fridays. But thankfully, Raquel's attack on Rhea on Raw this week and tonight's match was arguably the best work that we've ever seen from Rodriguez, a sign that she's not looking at the rearview mirror, but laser focused on making a mark. Number 3, referee to the rescue. Referees are always background characters in a match, but as fans know, they play a very significant role. Tonight, the referee was hard at work while still remaining in the background during the Rhea Ripley vs Raquel street fight. Now, you may have missed it, but the referee lent a big hand during a key spot, including the potentially dangerous spot where Ripley and Rodriguez battled atop of a table set on the top rope. The referee acted like he was trying to talk both superstars down, but as he did, he secretly steadied the table with one hand. He also managed to hold the steel steps in place while Raquel Rodriguez drove Ripley's face into it. He made so that the stairs wouldn't fall right on top of them after she was done, which is just a great touch. Referees are really the unsung hero in matches. And a fiery finish. As predictable as tonight's show was, WWE did turn up the heat with an attempted Money in the Bank cash-in during the main event, leading to a temporary alliance between John Cena and CM Punk, and some dirty looks between Rollins, Punk, and Cena. While the match's outcome was never in doubt, the WWE threw in enough twists and turns to make it memorable, including a spot where John Cena took substitute referee Charles Robinson out of action to keep Rollins from cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. It also kept everyone strong in the match. Rollins didn't have to cash in, John Cena retained, and CM Punk lost at interference. We gotta say that this one definitely isn't done between Cena and Punk, and hopefully they will revisit it before Cena ends up hanging up his boots for good come December. All in all, whilst the interferences weren't quite as spectacular as WrestleMania 40's ending, in fact it was kind of random having Penta there, it was good enough, and to be fair, I liked the finish. But that was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Karen at a crossroad. And what's next for Karrion Kross? Well, it's difficult to understand why WWE continues to job Karrion Kross out, as neither champion solidified his record of almost 0 wins at PLEs. In fact, he's only won once, and that was against Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules. But fans have got to wonder whether the former 2-time NXT champion will sign a new deal with WWE after his lackluster booking. Right now, it's hard to imagine why Kross would even want to stay given WWE's track record with him. It was bad enough watching Vince McMahon's booking at Kross, as who can forget that damn helmet, but Triple H, who supposedly knows how to book NXT talent on the main roster, hasn't done anything significant with Kross. Kross has never looked better, and his social media skills have turned him into a fan favorite, even though he's been stuck in endless backstage segments. Tonight's loss to Sami Zayn all but confirms WWE really doesn't have anything planned for him, and while rumor has it that WWE officials see big things ahead for him, fans are understandably skeptical after hearing the same thing about Finn Balor over the last 2 years. Now, hopefully this isn't a one and done between Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross, and hopefully they will revisit the match at SummerSlam with Kross getting the big W. Right now, we can only think that Sami Zayn won because it made the Saudi fans happy. Number 2, Bloodline 3.0. Now, is the Bloodline really dead at this point? We have a whole new bloodline including Hikuleo, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and JC Mateo, but the faction right now just seems like a Temu version of the bloodline. Solo Sikoa is more or less a comedy act, JC Mateo just has zero aura and we don't even know what WWE's done to him, Tonga Loa is botch extraordinaire, and Hikuleo just seems like an add-on at this point. WWE is just making it worse, as now Hikuleo will be known as Tala Tonga in the bloodline. I mean, this honestly sounds like a name that Vince McMahon would just pull out of a hat because the guy's tall. What has WWE done to the bloodline? Now, of course, we should always give this some time, but it just feels like the bloodline has just been milked to death at this point. Number 3, insulting the fans' intelligence. And does WWE think its fan base is stupid? What else can explain how Solo Sikoa captured the United States champion with blatant help from Jason Mateo, Tonga Loa, and Tala Tonga? While we understand WWE wants Jacob to chase Solo for the title in a classic scenario of overcoming the odds, the match itself was overbooked, with the referee apparently suffering a temporary case of blindness as he overlooked interference from 3 different wrestlers. The WWE could have just easily booked this as a no DQ bout to write off the interference. And number 4, a botched finish. Did Jade Cargill deserve to become this year's Queen of the Ring? While Cargill isn't the first wrestler with a great look to get a major push despite some very obvious in-ring limitations, nobody could overlook the botch finish that happened against her and Asuka. While we absolutely love Jade Cargill's Storm cosplay, I mean she really did slay in that, nobody could have overlooked the fact that she had botched the finish in such a horrendous way possible. Whilst the match was okay enough, the finish saw Jade Cargill go for a pin, but then completely slip up and still hold Asuka's legs for the cover, even though her shoulders were clearly up. It just made the win totally invalid. Wouldn't it have been better if they just tried to redo the finish? Now, it was nothing downright ugly tonight, but it was another predictable PLE where anyone stunned by the match outcomes were tuning in for the first time ever. Fans are increasingly becoming jaded with the WWE product, and PLEs like this offer no incentive for fans to watch or expect anything new. The reality is that WWE is making so much money phoning it in, it has no reason to want to rock the boat. A pattern that unfortunately longtime fans have seen before, including WCW in the late 90s and the WWE in the 2010s. But what do you guys think of Night of Champions? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, a news story looks at a WWE fan arrested. A WWE wrestling fan is facing serious legal trouble after allegedly attempting to break into WWE superstar Liv Morgan's Florida home. Sean Chan, 41, from Scarborough, Ontario, flew from Canada to Orlando on May 26, 2025. He claimed to the US Customs that he was staying at a WWE Performance Center. However, 5 days later, surveillance footage captured him outside of Morgan's private residence about 2 hours from the airport. He was seen walking around the yard before approaching the front door, where he checked under the doormat for a key and repeatedly tried the lock, unsuccessfully. But even more concerning was that he picked up an air rifle pellet gun left on the porch, a Sig Sauer MCX .177 capable of firing metal pellets at 600 feet per second. He reportedly sat with the weapon on Morgan's porch for over 2 hours. Before leaving, Chan placed a handwritten note near the front door claiming that the visit was friendly and stating, "I just wanted to let you know I was here." The note bizarrely mentioned online gaming disputes and included Chan's personal contact information. He was arrested on June 3rd in Orange County, Florida, and is currently facing federal charges. Now, this is a really disturbing incident and has certainly raised concerns about weird behavior from fans, as well as wrestlers' safety. WWE hasn't commented on the case, but the situation highlights the increasing risk public figures face from obsessive fans. We're just glad that Liv Morgan is okay. And finally, 3MB reunite. Drew McIntyre took to Twitter to show that they got the band together of 3MB, as Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, and Heath Slater all posed for a picture. Now, the group reunited for Jinder Mahal's wedding, which took place in Canada. This is probably one of the best reunions ever.